husband must be a great husband. When you were struggling with your weight, he didn't leave you.
I'll leave it alone, and I'll just go right here. It's Weigh-In Wednesday.
It is.
And here's our weight loss coach, Charles D'Angelo.
Brutally honest, but here I am.
Here you were. No.
Won't be here next week.
Today, we're talking about time management, which is, I think, such an important thing when you talk about going through the weight loss journey, so to speak.
I think it's the most important facet because every healthy plan will work. The key is getting on a pattern of consistent eating, consistent exercise, one that you can keep with. And so many people let incidentals get in the way, whether it be their kids bustling around from soccer practice to school, or whether it be their job. Whatever they're doing sometimes seems to get in the way. And the one most important factor a person or decision a person can make is to commit to certain times to eat every day. I oftentimes will tell a client that comes in the office, they think that food should be worked around their life. And in weight loss, I find that it actually has to be reversed. Mm-hmm. A person has to set up when they're going to eat and work then what's going on in their life around those times.
Yeah, and we're looking at all these people that were exercising and now the people that are buying food at the grocery store, and you're trying to juggle everything. But like everything in your life, if you go to work, you get there on time. If you have an appointment, you have to get there on time.
Absolutely.
So you have to put aside the time to do this for yourself, really.
The commitment and making certain that you're not saying to yourself, well, I'm just going to do it for now. It's a long-term process. It's not something that you can do for 2 or 3 months and expect then you can go back to letting food become spontaneous. One key that I find to be really consistent in all the clients that have success working with me is that they are not spontaneous in their exercise. In other words, it's planful. They say every morning at 5:30, I'm setting my alarm, I get up, I have breakfast, and then by 6:30 I'm in the gym. And they get out of the way first thing in the morning.
Is that what you do?
Personally, I typically will work out first thing in the day because I have so many things that could come up throughout the day that can disrupt that. Now, I went to New York City for the Book Expo of America not too long ago, and I had to fly out of St. Louis that morning at 3:30 in the morning. So, of course, I wasn't going to work out then, despite how crazy I can be at sometimes. I went ahead and I went to New York. I flew back to St. Louis that evening. My plane didn't get into 9:30, so I went to the gym at night. Now, I was exhausted, but there's sometimes that you don't have a choice. Sometimes that you can use it.
Well, you had a choice. You could have not done it.
Well, I'm saying if you want to work out in the morning, sometimes there's no way you could simply because of your schedule. In those instances, number one, with clients that work with me, they only have to work out 5 times a week. So, for example, if a person wasn't like me, I find enjoyment in working out, making it something that I really look forward to.
Well, therein lies the key, right?
Big secret.
Because it's so easy to come up with excuses not to do this, not to do that. I mean,
oftentimes people respond to chaos in their life by overeating. When you flip it and you say, you know what, I can actually get in control by taking control of my schedule, taking control of my habits, instead of embarking in something that's going to only proliferate the issue, eating the wrong foods and just reacting to whatever's going on. Instead, take control by deciding what you're going to do in advance. Once you start to see results, you feel so empowered with those results that you say to yourself, why would I ever do it any other way? You'll actually start to feel pleasure from eating the right foods and getting the exercise in because you see results from it. But those results don't come unless a person makes their schedule consistent.
And it doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't happen overnight, but it can certainly happen relatively quickly.
Right.
If you sit down with a piece of paper and say every day, I'm going to eat this time, and make sure you schedule your meals about every 3 hours, and make sure you're exercising about 5 times a week, that being cardiovascular exercise at first, and eventually maybe you want to get into weight training. But start with cardio, just 25, 30 minutes, and sooner than you know it, you're already seeing results, and you're addicted to that pleasurable feeling you get from that.
Sounds great.
You know it.
Yes. To reach Charles, you can go to our website at kpr11.com. You can also find him on Facebook. Thank you, Charles, and see you next Wednesday. Still to come, straight